Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of This War of Mine, The Little Ones. I would need to wait for this water to finish, but I don't think it's gonna give me enough time, so I'm just gonna end the day and start the night. Now, we're slightly damaged. I'd rather have you sleep in the bed, you can guard. Or you would rather guard and you scavenge, and they both sleep in the bed. So for this, I would need the saw blade. Danger. Well guarded by local thugs. Are eager to trade. I'm kind of scared. Lots of materials, lots of weapons, and lots of parts. I think I'm still gonna have like 2 meals. So meals for Cata and Marco, I guess. Alright, so it should be good, I hope. Let's go. Oh crap. Fridge. Alright. Under the bed. Oh wait. Hold up. Huh. Then fuck the bear. I'm gonna get this because it's food. Alright. Day 20! Hell yeah, Cata. Cool. Let's go. Oh, what the? Finish it. Very hungry. Hey, Marco. You're just hungry? Alright. I know. Yeah! We can have food! There's not doing anything. Marco, you're very hungry, right? So you're gonna eat? I want to listen to the radio. Hold on. We regret to announce anyone died by a sniper. Music is playing. Classical music. Okay. 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 Alright. I'll have water now. So I'm gonna go for food. One. They're done. All right. Yeah! Woo! You've survived. Our neighbor felt unsafe and asked us to help her board up her windows. We did that. Helping each other. We helped a man get medication for his father. Our neighbor's children asked us for medication for her. We shared a little we had with them. The long-awaited ceasefire finally came into force, eventually putting an end to the fighting in Pogoren. Those who managed to survive the war in Grasnavia would never forget it. After the war, Emilia became a public prosecutor in Pogoren. She used her law expertise in trials of war criminals who were brought to justice. She has never found out who the murderers of her family were, but deep inside she hopes they got what they deserved. After the war, Roman sought out his former buddies and, much to his great relief, learned that most of them admired his courage and the decision he made. He returned to his neighborhood and became a leader of the local community. After the war, Marco found his family, who managed to avoid the worst atrocities hidden away by a friendly country family. They came back to Pogoren along with other people. Normalcy returned to the city. Buildings were rebuilt, schools and shops reopened. Life went on. Cata used her contacts to find her parents in a refugee camp abroad. She brought them back to the city and helped rebuild their house. Soon after that, she published her war diary, which became a bestseller and drew widespread attention to the fate of civilians during war. Alright, so the epilogue is basically to rewatch the ending scene, so I can have another try or write my own story. I finally made it to a ceasefire. Now, I chose the short one, the minimum, which is in 20 days. Usually the campaign ones, they go from 40 to 50 days, something like that. They try to, you know, like these campaigns, they try to challenge you with preset teams, so to speak. And there's actually one where it's solo, where you are, I believe that you are the cook, Bruno, but I might be wrong because I just read about this once. So this is a really cool, very challenging game. The only story I was able to beat was one that I customized. It had its challenges, particularly with water, with food. I didn't really get that much hurt, and raids didn't really hurt me that much. I guess it was basically I chose characters, those that I felt comfortable with, but also I chose Emilia because I had no idea what kind of character she was, and she is I guess she would be me in this sort of situation because I also have a law degree and I really don't have any particular set of skills that would help me in any of this situation. So I guess it was kind of funny that she was part of the story that I ended up winning. So right, my own story, it was really short. I toned down the violence that people have towards one another, and that helped me out tremendously. But again, this is a very challenging game, and I really just wanted to show what's like to make it to a ceasefire. Obviously, the game allows you to customize your own setting, uh, possibly to give it a little bit more replayability, so that the learning curve is not as steep for everybody. And I really like that. Over like, speaking of things that I like, I really like this game. I really like the way it portrays war in a very truthful way. I mean, it is based on a real life event, the siege of Sarajevo, but it does it. How should I put it? Like, there's a million games that are based or try to recreate real life events, whether it's Assassin's Creed, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's Wolfenstein, sorry, with, a little bit of fiction in there, but they try to be somewhat faithful to history, to World War history, I guess. But usually what happens, it's a little bit glorified, because you're usually the good guy. And how should I put this? This game tries to present the reality of war, of a armed conflict. Who are the real victims? There are no, like, no one. There are no heroes. Everyone's a victim, whether you have a gun on your hand or you don't. Because, I mean, people get their homes destroyed, people get their lives destroyed, people lose their families, people lose their homes, people lose themselves. Schools get destroyed, hospitals get destroyed. Is just is just outright disgusting. And this game decides to take on a very popular theme, I would guess, and gets right to the point. Your main goal is to survive until there is a ceasefire, and it's not easy. And you need to worry about heat, you need to worry about supplies, you need to worry about if you're getting if you're getting robbed, if you're getting killed. And in I mean, it's a very special game. I think that this game is beautiful. It's very, very special. I love it. And I think anyone should play it. The fact that it has the possibility of customizing your settings, so what towns you can, or not towns, but like what I forgot what it's called, like the places you can visit and what's inside those places, how long until ceasefire, how long until winter, how harsh is the winter, and how long does winter last, and who are the characters you're going to play with or as, with the possibility of customizing your own survivor. So I think that there's definitely a lot of replayability here. There's a lot of ways. How should I put this? Although the game is and can be incredibly challenging, it allows for anybody to go step by step into difficulty. I get, yeah, you're just not thrown at the wolves. You can, like, if you're comfortable in playing from the bat, the more challenging campaigns, I guess you can do so. But if you also want to experience something, a little, the easiest one, and then you move on to something a little bit less easy, then a little something more challenging, and so on, you can as well. And I really like that a lot. In terms of flaws, there's a few I can think of. Number one, nighttime gameplay, like when you're scavenging, it's so fun. It's the best part of the game. And the days, they sometimes, like for instance, when I'm waiting for on the water, so the water to be filtered, it takes a long time, and it would be nice to have a button that just speeds up things a little bit, just kind of like Sims. You know what I mean? So that would be a great feature to have. Another thing that it's not quite right is the PlayStation controls. Sometimes you get a character to climb up the stairs, and instead they climb it down, or they go to a different direction. And other times you want to go left or right, and your character ends up, for whatever reason, climbing stairs, whether it's up or down. Like, it's just insane. Um, and it just feels that it happens at random, and you don't really have that much control over the character, and that's a really bad thing. And also another example related to the controls, sometimes you want to talk to a character or feed a character using a different character, and you can't exactly select what you want. It's just basically trial and error until you get it, and accidentally you might actually be wasting resources. Like, I want to feed you a soup, next thing I know I'm feeding you a raw carrot. There's nothing wrong with raw carrots, they're delicious if you ask me, but I just wasted a fucking ingredient, and that's pissing me off. So that's definitely, the controls is something that um, weren't as tweaked as they could have been. And so, if again, I absolutely recommend this game, but if possible, get it for a PC, because in a PC you have a mouse, you have a cursor, so this sort of thing won't happen in the PC port. Now, I also had another flaw, and this one is the major flaw for me. This isn't the first game I played with the sort of survivor, teamwork, crafting, exploration gameplay. I played one, I cannot remember the name unfortunately, but the setting was like, instead of being a war, it was a zombie outbreak, right? And you had your survivors, you had one safe house, and you had, like, your main goal was to find car parts, build a car, and use the car to escape, and you would win. Now, there were different game modes, you where you could customize your story, but within 3 different game modes. So you could customize your survivors, like you'd even imagine your friends' pictures, or your favorite characters' pictures, or pictures of anything really, and name your survivors, and you could choose their perks as well, pretty much like in here. But you could also choose, out of the 3 different modes, number 1, the endless, so basically there would be no time limit, or you would have a time limit, and obviously you would go from there. But that game had the option that if one of your characters died, whether because they got bitten by a zombie, or died from wounds or whatever, it would be a matter of time, according to your settings, of another random character popping up and asking to join, and it would be up to you to accept and welcome a new party member, or dismissing that person, leaving him to die, depending on how you feel, if you really need that character, or if you really want to be strategic and just looking at his perks. Whether, if basically the more useless the character is, you probably would just, I'd rather wait until a really good character asks to join. And I think that mechanic, if the mechanic was present here, I think it would make better for me to go through the more challenging campaigns, because if it's like permadeath, I get depressed and I just won't won't try again. The last example of that was Darkest Dungeon. I think it's a game that I keep mentioning a lot because I really liked the game, even though I didn't beat it. I loved it. Um, and so yeah, I guess in that regard they're similar. But if this game could have that ability of having characters ask to join your safe house, to join your, your little community, I think it would be a great addition, even if by default it wouldn't be um, like even if by default it wouldn't be that way, you know what I mean? Even if that's just something like an option that you could only choose in the write my own story mode. So that's basically the only criticism I have. So the controls, the, this little thing about the the inability of having random NPCs ask to join your little party, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I really love the game. I'm so glad I got to play it. I might actually play it more often, but I will not record it because I think that I managed to do what I wanted to do, which is basically let's give it a shot. Let's give it a few tries until I get it. And even if I need to lower down difficulty, that's fine for me. I had my fun, and if you ever play this, I hope you enjoy as well. So that will be it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.